Next up. So, recently, there's been a lot of scandal, a lot of problems with college football that I think need to be addressed. So, it's just not changing on the field anymore. It's changing in courtrooms, contracts, compliance,
Sure.
all these things. So, first up, we've mentioned a couple times this whole Duke and Darian Mensah case. So, if people don't know, what basically happened is Duke led Darian Mensah led 5 lost Duke to the ACC championship, won it, and he was on a 4-year NIL contract,
Yes.
multi-year contract, and on the last day of the portal, probably on the right way, he entered the portal and he planned to leave and go enroll elsewhere, and basically Duke was trying to sue him for going into the portal, saying they owned his NIL, which if you
Yes.
didn't know, NIL means name, image, and likeness. So they're saying they owned him. So it actually went to courts, and they were going to have this whole legal battle, but I think they eventually figured it out.
Yeah, they settled.
And they settled, and the settlement isn't exactly public, exactly what happened.
I think I was looking it up. I saw some rumors that that Mensa is paying Duke
Really?
some money.
I think that's possible.
I think it's I think it was $2 million,
Yeah.
something like that.
That would be interesting, but
I think it's like a buyout.
yeah. But this broaches our whole conversation of how contracts, should they be binding or not? If you sell, what do you think, Josh? If you get a multi-year contract from a school, probably a school who's giving you a chance, maybe from a smaller school, should you have to honor that contract? What do you think?
I
be
would.
better? Okay.
I think that should be a binding contract because the school's investing. This is an investment for them.
Yeah.
This is something they're staking their money on. They're trying to make sure that their football program is elite to the best of their ability, and they expect you to perform because they're expected to pay what they're owed to the player if they stay, right? I think the player should have the same responsibility of staying throughout their career there. Now, I think there should be clauses of whether they can go to the NFL or something like that within 2 years of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have the ability to go to a competitor
Yeah.
within the same sport and go, I'm going to go here.
Especially within the same conference. Kind of hurts.
Yeah, that's tough.
So it's a little interesting. I kind of agree with you. I selfishly wish that he would stay at Duke just because then, Duke just becomes a better team. And then that'd
be cool.
More entertaining football. It's good to build loyalty. You're still a student, and I like how it's probably better for your education. I know we don't talk a ton about education, but I don't know if Darian Mensah is going to go to the league. So
True.
It's probably better for education to stay at whatever school you're at, especially, Duke's pretty good for schooling. The other thing I think is interesting is Duke's plans here were to sue their own quarterback to have him stay there.
Yes.
At that point, do you think you're just burning the bridge and it's probably at that point, could he have possibly played another year at Duke? They sued me, so I guess I got to play here. How do you think that would have went down?
I think he holds out in the first place. So yeah, maybe he doesn't transfer, but he'll hold out and he'll just take up a roster spot. And I don't think that's good for Duke in the first place. Or he just becomes a cancer in the locker room, and then you just kill your whole culture.
Yeah.
So I think the moment he wants to transfer and you get into this, it's just a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that was pretty interesting. Got resolved today.
I thought about that though, whether we should see contracts be binding and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought something about this. I read it on the internet somewhere, and we all know that's something you should all believe.
Oh yeah, we are the internet.
I think they should start structuring contracts to give more and more money to players who stay.
Oh, I like this.
Year 1, you get $200,000. Year 2, you get $600,000. Year 3, you get $1 million. Something like that. That way to incentivize people to stay at your school, because if you go to a new school, it should that it'll reset.
Yeah,
so to speak. and then you still have a buyout.
Yeah, I like that. I think it would be really hard to implement because if you're doing it on a school level, if I'm Ohio State doing this and I'm doing this and maybe I start at 300,000 and then I do $1 million and then I do $2 million, the problem with that is even if my total is like 3.3 million over those 3 years, they're probably going to go somewhere else that's offering $1 million in the first year. Even if over the 3 years they only make 3 million, even though that's less money, they want the money now, and most of them have the idea that they're going to move on to bigger and better contracts year after year. So I think it would be hard to attract players unless you make a law, and NCAA is horrible at enforcing laws.
You could argue that you can make and I would say this is where we need a little bit more of laws and stuff like that. You can make it binding.
Yeah.
So like 5 stars start out with this much. 4 stars, and it's just a set amount.
Yeah, that's certainly a thought. It's giving the ratings companies a lot of sway.
It does give 24/7 or 360, whoever it is,
a
lot of sway and power. But that a way to standardize paying, could be a good way to do it. But not that I know. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that.
No clue.
But it kind of sucks.
It's just a thought.
If you're a school like Cal, you're losing your quarterback
Oh,
every
you're
year.
screwed.
Every year, he's gone.
So screwed.
And then going to be a Heisman favorite.
And you go, wow.
Apparently. Wow, he's so good. Another case that's been going on, or not really a case, but maybe going to become a case.
Possibly.
Dabo Swinney publicly accusing Ole Miss, especially Pete Golding, of tampering with Clemson's linebacker Luke Ferrelli.
Oh, no.
So
tampering.
It's always been the Clemson way to build players up yourself. Poor Dabo Swinney has been having one more loss every year. 0 losses, one loss, 2 loss season, 3 loss season, 5 loss season, however many losses they had this year. And then here they are. They're finally dipping in the portal, changing their ways, which I think they should, and I'm glad they are. And I hope he does well here. But then basically what happened on the timeline here, Ferrelli transfers from Cal to Clemson with he's highly sought after linebacker.
Yes.
He goes to Clemson. He's enrolled. He's attending classes and workouts. Like,
yes.
Dabo says he was moved in and everything.
Yes.
And then Clemson is alleging with pretty solid evidence, like Dabo was like in there with his paper and book and everything, talking about and giving timestamps of times that Ole Miss was contacting Ferrelli. They were texting him. He had Trinidad Chambliss allegedly texting him about, like, he's got pictures of $1 million contract from Ole Miss while he's in his ADM class.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how it used to be was tampering, and Dabo kind of said this. Tampering was like, talking to their friends and family, or your agents reaching out to their agent, and it's really hard to prove. And then worse tampering is you're talking to people before they even hop in the portal. But this has got to a whole new level, allegedly, where he's moved and transferred to another school, and there are still sending him pictures of a contract while he's in class. That's just crazy, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know if it's true. I have no clue.
It sounds
I haven't seen anything.
Dabo has a ton of.
Apparently, he kept the receipts.
I recommend looking at just a clip of his press conference where he's just going at them, and he's quite upset about it all. Some of his quotes are, "This is a whole nother level of tampering. If there's no consequences, we have no rules and no governance. And if you tamper with my players, I'm going to turn you in," basically.
Yeah, that's true. This is rare because usually tampering cases don't really go to the NCAA at all. Usually it's just like, even though it's tampering happened.
Yeah.
You just walk away.
Yeah. Even though
this is public now.
Strictly against their rules. It's like you can't recruit people before they enter the portal.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rule, and he's
so hard to enforce.
We'll see how it plays out over the next week. It sounds like he's going to try to start airing receipts. Another case of, are you really going to want Luke Ferrelli back on your team after you air out all of Ole Miss and say it's a problem? Probably not. Probably not good for the team. But at this point, I think Dabo's just doing it because he's just upset, and obviously to prevent other teams from tampering with his players in the future.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
to make a big deal of it.
This sends a big red flag to people and go, I cannot contact any of their players.
Yeah, and hopefully it does. The tampering is kind of crazy. I mean, this dude's freshman, so he's probably younger than me, and I'm only 21. So
Sure.
I
don't think I would want him at Ole Miss anymore either, though, because now that people would know about this, because even though he didn't go to Ole Miss, right?
Yeah.
Now people know how much he's worth.
Yeah.
And if I was a wide receiver who's put in the work and everything, and I go, I'm not worth $1 million. I'm not getting paid $1 million. What's going on?
Yeah, but I think that's always exists. There's no way that
Not this public,
but there's no way that players have been keeping a secret how much money.
Sure, they're all teenagers.
I'm sure
They don't keep secrets very well.
Flashing their bank accounts every second they get.
It can't be good.
Yeah.
And there's only downsides to it.
Yeah. Another thing that's a little interesting, just how the college landscape is changing, is Deion Sanders. He has dropped a new fine system for the Colorado Buffaloes. Even though they were below 500 this last season and his whole coaching career is right around 500, he's got fines. Let me read you some of them.
Ooh.
Late to practice, $500. Missed practice, $2,500. Late to meetings or film, $400. Missed meetings or film, $2,000. Late to strength and conditioning, $1,000. Missed strength and conditioning, $1,500. Late to treatment, $1,000. Missed treatment, $1,500. These fines could stack up. And they have some other ones like...
This seems excessive.
He runs his team like an NFL team. If you have team rule violations, it can be up to $2,500, and if you have public or social media misconduct, that can be up to $5,000 for a college
Who decides
player.
severity?
Well, probably Deion. Well, he decided all the rules. By the way, and he's kind of setting.
This is crazy.
He's kind of setting up his team like an NFL team. I mean, he was an NFL player, obviously, even though Colorado's not that good, but it's just so interesting how he is the coach and he's making all these rules. By the way, the legality of this all is very questionable, but we all know the NCAA is horrible at enforcing laws at this point. So it's kind of a gray area because are you taking their revenue or are they employees? So it's really weird. And
I'd like to know guidelines. Well, what if someone's sick?
Exactly. Like, does this going to go to some sort of committee? Because in the NFL, they have a CBA. So let me get this here. NFL players are pretty much unionized. They have a collective bargaining agreement. So they have clear rules, appeal processes, and representation through the NFLPA. So while we don't talk about NFL a ton on this show, as college football kind of becomes more like the NFL, it's weird that
That's something to think about.
You don't have these safeguards in place for the players. Now, I'm not a huge union fan, but at the same time, at least these players have some sort of safeguards in place. While in college, not only are these younger kids, but
they're 19.
Deion's just doing whatever he wants.
They're going to get fined $2,500 for being late.
Yeah, these kids are probably not very financially responsible either. And
I was late at 19.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
So
I'm all for. Don't get me wrong. I think the idea behind it is all right. Trying to create accountability.
Yeah.
The amount absurd.
Yeah, I don't know how much NIL they're pumping in over there. I don't think
Colorado can't be that wealthy.
Ton. So it's
if I'm a walk-on,
interesting.
I'm not playing at Colorado anymore.
Yeah, and I guess that's the other argument is, okay, well, you can transfer out. You can go somewhere else. You can do
Sounds
whatever
good.
you want. I feel like maybe people will do that, and maybe they'll continue being like a 6-6 team.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they're going to get better out of this.
Even though that Heisman 2 years ago.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Was Heisman.